All right. How you doing? It is the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. Welcome to another episode of the Mike Prince Show, right here from the Open Mic Broadcast Network on location in the STL, my hometown. Coming to you each and every day. Remember to follow me on Twitter at Radio Guy. Instagram is Radio Guy 22. The website is obnradio.com. Don't forget, in the local community of Prairie, Texas, you can check us out at 87.9 FM. Happen to be anywhere else in the country, you can check us out at TuneIn. Go to Open Mic Broadcast Network. Better yet, you might not have internet access. Simply dial 605-477-5066. You'll be able to keep up with us anywhere throughout the country. And without any further ado, we'll jump right into today's episode. I want to first say thank you. Not only PV Nation, but SWAC Nation. You guys sent get well messages and encouragement messages in the case of my daughter. And let me explain and share with you guys. Yesterday was an awesome day. Great to see and hold your own flesh and blood and knowing that everything is working out according to God's divine plan. And yesterday was just an awesome day. And I thank you all so much for the uplifting encouragement words and just the support all the way around, which is what makes HBCU Nation a unique brand within its own. And I've always seen the value. I've always seen the genuineness that comes from it, even from the smack talk that I had from some of the good brothers from Grambling Nation, talking about the kicker, of course, and now reinforce the fact that Zach Elder is the best kicker in the Southwestern Athletic Conference, period. But it's things like that, man, that really and truly helps us to stay focused, stay grounded, and keep things moving forward. And, of course, you know Prairie View Nation is right in the middle of an athletic director search. And sometimes people will think that you can be overcritical or not critical enough. But I challenge any of you guys to Google Kansas. The Jayhawks are in the middle of an athletic director search. And to hear some of the things and the rhetoric that's coming out from that would make what you're hearing about PV Nation or either SWAC Nation very, very tame. Just Google Kansas Athletic Director search, and you'll be in for a whopping surprise. As we've made mention, there are all sorts of movers and shakers going on throughout the course of the Athletic Director search, as we've been crying here from Open Mic Broadcast Network, just to make sure that the search is open, number one, fair, number two, and it makes logical sense to fit what we need to go to the next direction for an athletic program. With all the money that's being spent on Prairie View athletics, we need to match the intensity of the money that's being spent with the productivity throughout the program from A to Z. And of course, when I'm talking about from A, football is supreme. We know basketball is supreme. You know, baseball. I mean, all the way down to tiddlywinks. We want to make sure that we are super competitive. There's been a summit that has been approved for the National Alumni Association to be held at New Orleans. And from memory, of course, we're going to have the interim athletic director, Mr. Fred Washington, in place. We're going to have Miss Alicia Pete in place, along with Coach Jennings from golf, Coach Smith from basketball, Coach Bland from softball, Coach Dooley from football, Coach Pugh from women's basketball. And I believe that's all, but that's going to be coming out. I'll be making sure that we retweet that flyer that'll be coming up with the Athletic Summit on July 19th through the 21st. If I'm not mistaken, that summit will be on that Saturday. So keep your eyes and ears peeled for that. Of course, my Twitter handle is Radio Guy, and you look for that attachment coming out real soon. Between today and throughout the weekend, we'll be able to have that taken care of. What we're going to do right now, we're going to switch over to the message line. Got a message line from a longtime supporter of Prairie View Athletics, Brother Deno and the Panthers Backers. We'll hear his info and insights on how he would like to see PV Nation go as far as football is concerned. It was in regards to a show we did a couple of days ago talking about the 16, 17 possible schools that Prairie View could play or compete with, in my opinion, on the football side of things. We'll hear from Brother Deno right now, and we'll come right back to continue on with the show.
Dr. Mike, the scheduling you announced on the radio, one of the largest money games in the SWAC is Grambling and Southern. What's wrong with Prairie View playing a North Carolina A&T, a Tennessee State, a Howard? Howard has one of the largest followings in this area. That would be a good money game. A football team has to have confidence. Why beat it out of them playing these schools that they know they can't beat? Talk to you later.
And, of course, Brother Deno, we thank you so much. We thank each and every one of you for coming in, chiming in through the message line. That message line, again, is 713-570-6736. You can dial that number 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We will get the message. We will get it on because we want you to have a voice here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. That number, again, is 713-570-6736. Brother Deno was in reference to why not playing a North Carolina A&T or a Howard. He believes that could generate a money game. And when you look at it, some of the schools that we were talking about that could be a good money game for us, of course, that would be us being on the road. But in this case, I believe Brother Deno was in reference to having a Howard or North Carolina A&T come to Prairie View. And I believe that is something that is noteworthy of looking in. Here is the challenge from my vantage point, Brother Deno. If you are to draw a Howard or North Carolina A&T, I believe that game would work if you set that as a homecoming opponent. Here's what I'm saying. For the past couple of years, our homecoming attendance has been there for the overall event. However, to attend the game has been lackluster. And the reason of that has been the opponent that we've had in the past couple of seasons. Last season, of course, was Bacone. I believe if you draw a Howard or North Carolina A&T, the level of competition would pique the interest of those actually coming to the game, because it's no good to have 30, 40,000 people on your campus and not fill the 15,000 seat stadium. So if you do that, I would encourage that. I would applaud that, to bring a North Carolina A&T or a Howard in. Howard does have a strong draw and a strong following in the Houston area. Of course, we have Coach Mike London, who is featured on our weekly talk show during football season. And it's a good draw and a good feedback from Bison Nation, not only here in the Houston area, but abroad. So that could be a very strong possibility of making that happen. Would it work in a non-classic game draw? I believe it could, but it was going to take a lot of work and promotion from PV Nation's end. And here's another little side note, what I'm thinking. We put a lot of emphasis on homecoming. But I believe if you're going to have 4 or 5 home games a year, you need every game to have a homecoming-like experience, whether they're little mini versions of homecoming leading to homecoming itself, but each home game needs to have a homecoming experience. And I think that's part of the planning and the laying out, knowing what themes that you want for your home games, but it's something that could be of draw. So, Brother Deno, I want to thank you again for your input. Thank you, PV Nation and SWAC Nation, for your input. Remember, that number again is 713-570-6736. You can dial that number 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Leave your message, leave your comments, leave your thoughts or concerns, and we will run it in rotation. We simply ask that you use no profanity and that you speak your mind, speak from your heart, and we'll put you in the rotation. That number again is 713-570-6736. As always, we do appreciate each and every one of you for what you bring to the table. No one is to be omitted, and we appreciate you from A to Z. In fact, I've been so inspired that I'm actually working on a project, and maybe you could help me out, PV Nation, if you think it's even something that I should even consider moving forward. Of course, we always say who you're rooting for, and the response is PVU. Of course, that stands for Prairie View University, or Prairie View A&M University. We've added the PVAMU of recent, but of course, it was PVU. Well, I began to think about that thing, PVU, and an epiphany came to me while I was doing my Mile High broadcast, and I don't think I've ever done that before, did an actual broadcast while 30,000 feet up in the air. It was pretty cool. Sound was a little challenging, but it is what it is. We got that in the records. Been there, done that. But PVU, and the epiphany was this: Prairie View United. I have spoken with PV Nation from the major scale down to the minor scale, and everyone that I've spoken with has the vested interest of Prairie View becoming a moving force of one. So why not PVU, Prairie View United? Why don't you call the message line? Let me know what you think about that. 713-570-6736. Or, of course, you can chime in on Twitter at Radio Guy 22. Instagram is Radio Guy 22. Like I just said, Twitter is Radio Guy. So make sure we don't get that twisted. Twitter is Radio Guy. Instagram is Radio Guy 22. Either one, you can go ahead and leave your thoughts and comments about that. PVU, Prairie View United. And if you're one of those who like to go by way of email, check us out at p3talk@gmail.com. The letter P, the number 3, talk, all together at gmail.com. I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. Thank you all again so much for the prayers and solicitations. Continue to stay on the grind, as we'll continue to stay on the grind from this end. Until the next time, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.